Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to play the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I have no idea what the game is about, but my best friend was like, you should play this, and I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but you should play it for your channel. So I'm going to give this a shot. I'm kind of hoping it turns out to be a scary game because that'll be hilarious. So let's step in and see what this is about. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? No, I have not. The current time, 11:55. Did I say to do that? No. I'm gonna wait until it says 56. Oh, it already says 56. Okay. I didn't say to change back to 55. So I wonder if this is part of the game. It's not. You are playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Begin the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
What?
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
That's a lot.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk,
Not the
telling him
buttons.
what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Was he happy? Was he really
And then one
happy?
day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
Aw.
Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
What? Stepping outside of his office? That's dangerous. Alright. Well, let's go outside the office. Hello in there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
First of all,
Stanley decided to go to the
I did
meeting
not
room.
close the door.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'd like to say it again. I didn't close the door. Hey, 431, where you at? I'm gonna steal your coffee. I'm gonna steal your coffee.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
432, what you be doing over here? You sharpening pencils for a living? Bro, it's time for you to find a new job because what is this? Is that a Minnie Mouse hole? I don't know. Okay, you slacking. Can I jump up here? I want to jump on the desk. I can't. Ooh, I see you with your light over on me. 436. Got a pencil. Can I open the door? Wow. Hello. Alright, your office trick is not funny. 420.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office,
You're damn
but it
right.
didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Did I come through here or... Well, I did now. Why you got the thing on the thing? I want over there. I want to see what that rope is. Can I Of course I can't.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, so what if I open the door on the right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I did. But mainly I wanted to see what would happen if I didn't do what you asked me to do. Dang, this buildie?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
I mean, I guess.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
That was really cold on my teeth. How you want me to drink in your office?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Oh yeah, totally. You want to know why? Because I said it was.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did I? All right, we'll listen.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
So don't get on this elevator thing? Doing it! Aw. Nothing happened. Okay. Did I think he said to go straight?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I gotta drink all these people's coffee. What you mean? Go through all of their stuff. I did not do that. Everything is not okay because, I was reading that. Go back. You, most of all. You're right, I am unique. Number of slides on this chart, on this slide, and then it doesn't say anything. Okay, we're proceeding. What is this? Broom closet. Oh, I could open the door.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I guess. You get pushy.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh, it's nice and red. This looks like the wall painting that I would put, the wallpaper that I would use in my Sims. In, like, every house. Is this a library?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845. That's right, I had a secret pin just chilling over here, and now it's on my hand. You can get me with that. Now, where can I put this in here, though?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
I found it. 2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What? Am I in a different location? Bro, I can't move. Okay, get out the way. This looks like a TV set. You know that one movie where they're following that one guy around? That's what this is. cannot see shit. Elevator.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Can you keep your snap-ins to yourself? I'm walking here.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind control! Ooh, but then there's the escape. Alright, so do I want to be mind controlled or do I want to escape? Is that even a question? Mind control!
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yeah, I did. I almost walked off the edge. Don't look down. Camera!
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I see you over there. You fired over there. Oh, you fired too. What did it say? I wasn't paying attention. Okay. I want to know what they did to get fired. Oh, here we go.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
He's a sim.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I'm going on that. Oh, he accepted.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yeah. Once and for all. I'm in the circle. I'm stuck in the circle. Facility power. Let's shut all the power off. Yeah, they're waiting input, alright.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine! Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
All of them.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Let me out.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Happy. Trophy beat the game. That was the whole game? Get your first trophy? Am I back in my office?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I don't know how many times I've clicked it, but let's click it.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Hey, some of them might open.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, I'll enter the door on the left this time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
I'm touching everything in the room, okay? I want to pick something up. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
No,
office.
I went downstairs. I went upstairs last time. What is this? Firehouse.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing
you're
and thinking?
speaking so much.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
This is interesting.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
Yeah, let's wake up.
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Always.
My life is normal. I am normal.
Are you?
Everything will be fine.
Are we normal? Are we really normal? Because
I
I'm not normal.
am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice?
he's having a better time.
Who am I? And everything went black.
I was like, that is not black. That is like yellowish red. Hello.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day,
Stanley?
her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that
Oh yeah,
day.
I feel better because there's a
Very
dead man on the
important people
sidewalk.
whose impressions of her would affect
What
her career,
sense
and
does
by
that make?
extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this. So it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Bye. That was interesting. Whack!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We're just gonna go right
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Wow! How you just gonna board off my broom closet? I'm offended. I'm offended. All my toys are in there, bruh. Rude.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Ooh, we didn't go through this one. Bathroom. It's an executive bathroom. Ooh, it's nice. Oh, what is this? Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. All right. You have your crispy money. Well, that's a bathroom. Oh, wow. There's a... Ah! That's very sad and inappropriate. Oh, can we go up a floor? Ding dong. How long is this elevator? How long? All right, let's just jam. Hello? Can we get off the elevator though? Am I stuck in the elevator? Okay. After all of that, we wound up in the same room. Ha! Okay. Guess we're traveling through.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
2845.
What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
All right.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I guess we're in this passageway now. Alright, well, we went down last time, so let's go up. I hit the up button. Why are we going down? Why are we going down? Whatever. Shocky, shocky.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word Escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh, I guess we're dying.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
What? Why would I want to do that?
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward from his death.
Ooh, the gates have opened. Am I falling? I fell. Oh, I'm still falling. Ah! Snap, crackle, death.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story.
First of all,
trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is.
how am I still alive?
Perhaps his
That
death
was a
of
big
no
drop.
great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh no. Oh, goodbye. Oh.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
So, for a pancake, we sure are still walking around.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know. Have we noticed any differences between the days?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. He was already dead from the moment he hit start.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of did. Ooh, 1, 2, and 3. Can I open all of them? The office. What are these? Button sounds. Meh. Nope. Doop. Eep. Ollie's looking at me like I'm crazy, like I need help. I do, Ollie. Model design, original music, the credits, additional development, based on the work of the Stanley Parable 2013 team. Good job. Office computers. I don't think they liked that very much. Filing cabinets. Can I open them? Ooh. Nature paintings. Are those all the paintings that I saw? Can I fill this office? Or what is this? It's a diorama. Office layout. Corridor. The 2 doors. Oh, okay. Is this my desk? It is. Oh, I can't open these? You just gonna leave them here and I can't open them? Fine. boss's office. Okay. What is this? Office clock.
It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively if you have even the most fundamental understanding.
The lounge. Okay. Underground, an early version of the underground portion of the game. That's cool.
Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him? Sure, he's getting pushed back on the Stanley in the story. Stanley pushed the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice forever. Where were all of his co-workers?
Where were all of his co-workers? They were dead. Freedom ending. Countdown desk. One of the desks from an early version of the countdown ending. I don't have the countdown ending. I want the countdown ending. Freedom ending. This is the freedom ending as it exceeded in beta. Okay. Glad beta changed. Monitor room elevator. Countdown room, an early version of the countdown room. Did I go into the countdown room and not realize that I was in the countdown room? Or did I not get the countdown room? Zending. I want the big red button. The screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Okay. Zending levers. These levers were originally a part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the fourth version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. So we didn't even get this ending. Ooh, those are buttons. I'm gonna press the buttons. Okay, the game is now paused. Begin the game again. Resume the game. Options, return to the menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different end. Can I pick up the phone? Where are all these other endings? Cargo lift. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Okay, well, I don't know how to jump, so I stayed on. Cargo lift. The second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. Did it already come from there? The office. I'm gonna look at everything. Those are cool. Ultra Deluxe announcements. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Okay. Maintenance room. Is this it? $427. Another $427. Another $427. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in November 2011, the second in March 2012, and the third in February 2013. I'm looking for an escape. Game design mock-up. Okay. Do we really just have to exit the game in order to end the game? Exit!
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
I can't jump off.
To choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I'm not just turning off the system in the middle of the game. You already know this. Oh. Okay. Let's go 427.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You can't jump. Oh, I got a trophy.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
now? We really can't go nowhere in the elevator? I guess. Oh, there's a desk over here. I didn't even see this last time.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Who's rushing now? Who is rushing now? Trying to play the piano. Trying to rush me through. Is that a door? I'm not done. Okay. I cannot see. Alright, I guess we're going on the elevator. How many times are you gonna at me? Can I go back up?
Got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Because... Are we still moving? Whee!
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have. An incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow.
Did I piss you off?
I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Did I piss you off, narrator? Come at me, bro. Trying to touch all the stuff. Okay.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Trying to figure it out.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
Yeah.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Alright, I'm going.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yes. I can't interact with anything? Come on.
Now the
Cameras.
monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
You don't
Stanley's
say.
co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Where freedom meant nothing.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this
This whole time?
Was this the only reason he was
What?
happy with his boring manipulated to accept it blindly.
Let me on.
No, he refused to believe it.
Refused.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Utterly blind to the world? Yes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Once and for all.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
I did.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yes. Control!
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do.
Okay,
You're
and...
supposed to let it go.
No.
Turn the controls off and leave.
No.
If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are sent to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires.
Okay.
Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're going to die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Wow.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be when you saw that timer? That something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. it's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first.
Are
so
you?
Can't.
Are you?
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
Okay, so there's a 5. And we saw a 4.
Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke.
Here's a 3.
I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment.
We're coming back in here to do this. The buttons. We're gonna come back in here to try to find the buttons. Like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's different. Welcome to the whiteboard ending. We found a new ending. Dog mode. Alrighty.
Here's the door. Just go.
Just go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength?
We're gonna try to find the
out?
buttons.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
The lives.
Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this
Sort
time?
of.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and
Okay, so here's
commanded
the
from
3.
this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert
There's the
its
5.
terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Time to shine. You are now. Shape it to your line. I'm in a good mood. You're going to let you
Yep.
sit there in your office
4.
for minutes. Go around.
5.
Will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? that this video game can be beaten? One solved? Do you have to? But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail.
Okay.
Just you and me in the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
I can't do
30
anything.
seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No end in it. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life.
4, 2, 7.
Until the moment I say, happily ever after. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright. That was a fun little game. So we're gonna leave it off here. It's kind of like one of those where you go through the game or the same day over and over and over, and then the more you go through the day, little things change. That's kind of what this is. So that was an interesting play. So I wonder if there is actually like other trophies that can be won or like actual other endings that we can stumble upon. I was trying to do different like things to try to see how many different things we can interact with in areas that we can find within the game, and I'm sure there's more, but I don't know. If you liked this game, don't forget to leave me a like, a comment, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!